looking for different ways to get to it, different ways to pull off of it. Two different ways to just get straight into it. One is our spiral ride. So if we're starting, whatever side we start on, I usually like to start on the right, is how I am. We're going, our hand on the belly button is going to be 20 sides, and our hand that's on his elbow is bumping. We're spiraling, looking to bring him to this sit here, or bring him to a hip. Another one is same exact principle, except we're going with it off of our far ankle breakdown. So we got our tight waist, we got this ankle, and we're pulling and circling him to his hip. Okay, same principle, same little breakdown, gets him to the hip here. From here, we're looking for a cradle. This hand is coming over top, looking to crunch and crash. You know, if we can get it locked up like we normally do with this cross face, starting to drive his head to his knee, great. If it's just something that we just come in here with a heavy crash, lock the hands, everything's the same, getting hip to hip, sitting right back. Knee in the ribs, forehead in the temple, squeezing my elbows together. Next down, we're either doing a spiral ride, coming from starting to blocking an inner thigh, sitting into this hip, or, go ahead and face back up, go ahead and turn. We're doing it off the tight waist ankle. So tight waist ankle, instead of driving and running forward, we're pulling around. From here, if someone's coming over, we're crashing, getting heavy here. We don't want our partner to be able to get big and start building back to a base. So we've gone breaking down to a hip. We're committing, bringing this hand, crunching him up, staying heavy, locking these hands, starting to get hip to hip and just starting working back into this cradle here. Use either of the setups, either our spiral ride, that ankle running the corner, and crunch that cradle and go. So spiral ride, we're in our normal base. The hand that's on the elbow is basically coming underneath his armpit and blocking out. Our hand that's on the belly button is coming inner thigh. We're prying here, prying. Bringing him down to his hip. You guys got it? All right, let's get there. 1, 2. Whatever it's there. I think I've seen Jackson do this 3 times, 4 times so far this season. So we got a guy, he's trying to hit a stand up. Boom. We're gonna cradle him off of it. Go ahead and get back down. You know we got a guy that's trying to explode up, explode up, explode up. You know, we got to have forward heavy pressure straight from the get-go. He tries to stand up, and I'm already starting to cover. You know, I'm already heavy into him. This hand, our normal cradle hand, is going over top. Our other hand, we're sinking off to the side, locking up this cradle here. From here, sliding this knee, quickly back, finish just like we always do. Knee in the ribs, forehead in the hip. Whether it's right off the whistle there, maybe we're in here, we're wrestling, he starts building up, boom, crashing hard, coming over top and crashing hard, trying to bring his head to his knee with all these cradles. That's the biggest thing. I got to crunch and crash here. We're locking hands however we want to. And I prefer the gable here, butterfly grip. We're just sliding this knee that's inside between, just sitting right back. Knee in the ribs here, forehead in the temple, and squeeze. You guys got it? Need to see it again?
You did one.
Go on the other side. Yeah. So same thing. He's trying to stand up. We're getting forward pressure into him. This hand is coming over top, crashing, slipping off to the side here, locking this cradle up, and just sliding this inside knee between, straight to his butt. So knee in the rib, hand the temple, and squeeze.
Coach, if you notice, the coach exploded back with the guy super fast, super quick. There's a reason you don't go back so quick. Now, sometimes in your hurry, you throw him right over top of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know,
All right, once you've got it locked up, you've got the opportunity to take it back. If you go super quick, there's a chance that he'll use that momentum and you won't be able to contain it and he'll roll through it.
if I just try to fling him back to his back here, we end up in a cold fight like this, or we end up completely losing it.
Yeah.
Once you have that cradle locked up, know that you're going to get the pin there. You know, we can take care, unless it's super short time, we just need a pin. Take your time. I've got this locked up. You know, I can look around. You know, I can wink and blow kisses to the dude's girlfriend. Because I'm about to pin him right here. Okay? I'm about to sit him back, straight to his back, and bam, looking for a pin.
Got it?
You guys got it? All right, let's get there. 1, 2.
Cross-face hand turks and cross-face jumps, and we're going to stay on the arm bars. That's going to be our 3 top weapons, really, from top. Okay? But something that's come up a couple of times, we get an arm bar, or let me say this, the opponent's getting an arm bar on us, and we're not doing a good job countering. Okay? All right, so the bare minimum, anytime somebody is running a certain way with the move, whether it's a half or it's an arm bar, let's say they're on my left side and they're running to my right, okay? What you have to do, bare minimum, if you don't do anything else, what you have to do, you have to look away, and whatever loose appendage you have, arm or leg, you have to make big on the opposite side. You're pushing against that. Okay? And a lot of times, coach will tell you, this will be enough. If there's 15 seconds in the match, this should be enough, unless you quit. It should be enough. It should be enough. If there's 30 seconds in the match, this should be enough. If there's 2 minutes, it's a long battle.
It's a long match, y'all.
Yeah. All right? The other thing off this, of course, if that arm bar gets loose, and maybe Coach Martin's not the best one for this. I know I'm not a limp arm kind of guy, but there's a lot of people who have the ability to limp arm out of an arm bar. Okay? I prefer not to get in the arm bar because I'm not a big limp arm kind of man.
Can I say one thing here?
Yeah.
Another thing you guys can do is say Nate's trying to drive me. And like what Coach said, if we can get a big base on this opposite side, that's enough to stop a lot of wrestlers from running this arm bar. You know, like what he said, I'm not very Gumby or flexible with my shoulders, but here you can limp arm and maybe just make your arm go limp and slide it out. Another thing you can do is you can post your hand and walk these fingers. Keep walking these fingers until this arm bar is out. So it doesn't matter if he's got it tight here, keep it tight. Now he's got that tight. If I can get this hand on the mat, so walking my fingers. Get that arm bar is out. Boom, we're back to our sits or lifting the building base.
The only thing, be careful looking back, watching the wall. Okay? Some of us, especially as first year guys, when we have a tendency to look back, we forget we're posting on the other side. Okay? So if you're walking your hand, just do it. Look away from it. Always, like I said, worst case, least case, you should be right there. You should be right there. If that's a half, or get a half. If that's a half, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay? If he jumps to the other side with the half, you look the other way. It's the same thing with the arm bar. Okay? All right? Also, if he gets right here, do not take this hand and bring it close to your body. Because what's he going to do? He's going to post that wrist. He's going to post it up, or he's going to try to double scoop it and have a double arm bar. Okay? So that's another reason why you keep that arm out wide and post it strong. Because you don't want to give that up. You don't want to give that up. All right, that being said, go back the other way. Now let's say things are going south. Okay? He's starting to turn you up on your hip. You feel yourself start to go. There, stop right there. You're getting in this position right here, you're in a bad way. Okay? You're almost parallel with the mat at this point, and you're about to be turned. There's an opportunity here. It's brief, but there is an opportunity where you can reverse this move, and I'm going to let Coach Martin take it from here.
All right, so Nate's on top here, and This works great. We've wrestled with a lot of guys that whenever they get this bar, they'll bump us to this shoulder, and then they start walking their feet around. And keep walking your feet like a normal wing. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. They've been stacking this up right here. Right, watch out. Not a lot of teams have done arm bar that we hit where we bump and then start working that elbow down to the ear. A lot of guys are trying to run around us and trying to stack us up on our neck. One thing that we've been yelling, and super easy, super simple move, but like what Coach said, is very brief. You have a second to hit this sometimes where it's completely gone, and that's just a simple sit-up. You're sitting up to our butt. Brother Nate's got this hand, he's bumped us, he starts running around. There's a brief moment that whenever he starts taking this step, that we can sit, pop up, and set this guy straight to his back. From here, we're looking just kind of belly down.
You keep that arm too.
Keep this arm here.
If you've got it tight like Coach had it right there, the bar's still caught and you're under the waist and you caught that arm right there, all you got to do now is scissor your legs and that's the match. That might be one of the more painful pinfalls you can put somebody in, honestly. Yeah. It's super tight. It's super tight. And you've just got one brief opportunity. Now, unless you get really good at this, and I know people in the past who get decent at this, you don't rely on this, okay? A lot of these moves we show, sometimes you think, that's it, man, I've got this, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let him get an arm bar, and I'm gonna hit this sit out. Jackson, I'm looking right at you. Okay? So you don't go big move right here. This is not a big move. This is last resort. You're about to be turned. You've got no other option. You might as well try. Okay?
Nate's down. His normal defense is him looking away and posting. Sometimes we may be able to drive in and get this wrist. We're bumping, and then as they're starting to run around, take a big sit, big sit, big sit. Oh.
Scissor the other way.
Scissors this way. Scissor hit.
Yeah, pull it tight. Pull that arm
Oh.
tight.
Looking for a pin there. It was a very brief moment. You feel a little bit of pressure go off of it. You're sitting and hitting it hard. Let's go ahead and partner up.
One more thing, Coach. Go ahead and get that back in there. There's something you can do to help you with this. And when I learned it from Coach Clear, believe it or not, back in the day, if you'll take your hand, when he starts to go elevate you, right there, if you'll put it on the hip right there and push on it as you're sitting, sometimes that'll help you hit your move. Okay? Now, what happens is you don't get the arm underneath, but sometimes, I'm guilty of this, I've been in this move before, where I had to block the hip a long time to keep him from advancing forward. So I'm blocking his hip. Maybe I don't hit this big move, but I've gotten in a situation where I got tilted looking in, and this is my last ditch effort. I'm blocking that hip. Okay? All right?
Let's get out there and drill it, guys. 1, 2. On the base. Regardless of how you get to it, whether you're in the middle of something or in the middle of the period or right off the whistle, I'm coming right off the whistle. It's right off the whistle. I'm coming, boom, punching a hard crossface, gripping right at the elbow like we always have been. And I come with a little thigh pry right here. And I like to come with a little thigh pry right off the bat. Go ahead and start opening this person up. I'm pulling and I'm crunching. Notice my chest stayed glued to his back right here. I'm not coming over top and I'm not sunk all the way down low. My chest is staying right in the middle of his back with this, keeping that heavy pressure. So I'm crunching him up. Our free hand is starting to lace underneath. I'm jumping to the other side. Go ahead and raise up a little bit. And from here, I'm just locking my hands, same as our normal cradle. Locking right on my own wrist. We're bumping, bump, bump. Just sitting him back. So right off the whistle, from here in the base, I'm punching this cross face and come with a little thigh pry. Punch and boom. Sometimes I may sit him on a hip like this. If I do, that's great. That's easier money right there. If I sit him to a hip, bringing his head to his knee, punching and crunching, getting that knee in, sitting him back. if he stays in a base more, and right off the west or whatever it is, boom, and he stays more in a base, get heavy chested, starting to bring that head to his knee. I'm using my weight and my pressure to crunch him up here. Turn. Taking this free hand, going behind the leg, I'm hopping across, looking to lock up my cradle as soon as I get over here. Remember with my grip, I've got this cross face, I'm reaching through and I'm hooking on my own wrist here. I'm sitting him back. The pressure that we're pulling in this cross face and then me getting my pressure on him is what gets him broken down on this side. He doesn't have anything to post to on this side except his own head. Now he's bringing his head to his knee for you here, for you to hop over and lock up this cradle. You guys got it? Need to see it again?
Are you keeping the cross face even when you get your grip?
Yeah, I'm keeping the cross face the whole time. I'm gripping my own wrist that has the cross face whenever I'm going through with it. Any other questions? All right, let's get there. 1, 2.